Hi everyone, today we are going to be working on more on this lovely little page from Rita Berman's book, Die Welt Unter der Lupe, Lande. And in our first video we did our little mouse, then in our second video we did windows and doors, and in our third video we did these walls and the tops of the toadstools. So today we're going to work on some florals. Okay, so let us zoom in and get started. I'm actually going to do some berries, I think, to start with, and then move on to flowers. We've got lovely berries here, and we've also got some up here, and I think we'll do them all the same, just because. Ooh, it was a crackling noise. It's I think it's static. I've just put my cardigan on. Ooh. Right. We're going to start with the colour Space from the Cobra Black Widows. I'm using two sets of Black Widows, the original Spider set, the Cobra set. I'm going to use Space, which is a really nice purple. I'm going to start with the berries. So just going to start by going around the edge of each one with a really deep layer, and then less towards the middle of the berry, like that. So you can see the difference in colour from the middle to the edge. Now, red berries are always fun and orange, but I just thought we needed something that would stand out from our roof of our mushroom house. So I thought these sort of deep purple ones would be fun. Now normally I would put a lot of a darker colour here where it's overlapping, but because they're already so dark in colour, I don't think we need to worry about that. Just keep going. And we'll do, as I say, I'm going to do all the berries the same. I think it's quite nice if you've got some consistency across the picture. I also love this colour, so why not keep using it? The reason I turn my pencil, you may notice, you may find yourself doing the same thing, is that it's something that I do unconsciously. And do these top ones as well. So I'm trying to find a sharper edge to the pencil, and because you wear down a little bit as you colour, and you twist it, you find a sharper bit. Because this edge bit needs a sharper edge, a sharper bit to get more colour down. Okay. Now there's quite a lot of greenery on here as well, and I've been thinking that I might do the greenery all in similar colours to sort of tie it together. But if I'm doing all the berries the same and all particular flowers the same, then I might just pick a selection of greens and use them. Now with the Black Widow, some of the greens are quite bluey, and but I do have some more olivey tones in my newer set. I'm just seeing if there are any more berries. No, I think that's it. Yeah, okay. So let's do this one. Anyway, so yes, I do have some more orangey, some bluey greens, so I've got to decide which I'm going to use. Right, let's think about this big flower. Now I am thinking we could go with a different shade of purple, maybe a lighter purple, because it looks like the berries are coming off the flower, but then berries don't necessarily match the flowers. We could go for pinks. We could go for, yes, let's do some pinks. It's a little bit different. In the Spider set we have a Plum Pudding, which is a very purpley pink, which is where I'm going to start with all the areas that I think will be darker in the flower. So down here to start with. Now the edges of the flowers have got these lines, and I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to keep it a little bit simpler and just build up my colours so that we just go dark to light. And some people may do these outside and leave it white. You could do that. I'm just, as I say, I've chosen to go dark to light. And all these petals will be similar. Trying to plan my week in my head while I'm talking to you, which isn't a good idea. I'll talk to you about my plans instead. I've got some work to do, but I haven't been paid for my last batch of work yet, so I don't like to submit my next batch until I've been paid. And not that I don't trust my customer, but I figure that he might not be ready for the next batch until he says, thank you, here's the money, sort of thing. But I've got a little batch to work on, and sometimes my son is home on Friday morning, so I can't record videos then, so that is a time when I can be working. This leaf has got no marking on it at all. It's quite interesting. It's really different to the rest. By the time we've coloured them, hopefully it won't look much different. My husband said he may have to do some working from home, and I don't know whether that just means in an evening, whether he was going to be planning on coming home early one night, which is okay because the children are home fairly early anyway, or whether he's going to be here in the morning for a while. And I'm going out tomorrow morning, first thing-ish, not quite first thing, for a walk with a friend. So I figure my husband would only just have left by the time she arrived, so I won't be doing any videos first thing tomorrow. So I could potentially do some work then. It's nice to plan everything out, make sure, you know, I'm getting it all done. And I'd like to have a balance too between making videos, and which I love doing, and working, which gives me a different perspective. I don't dislike it, it's not quite so much fun. And also between editing, which isn't so much fun either. It's okay. But I tend to colour while I edit because it takes time to export and import and things like that. So in between times I can do a bit of colouring, so that's okay. I've got a little leaf there. I don't think that's to do with this plant. I'm just seeing what's going on. I think I've got every main petal, and we'll move into the centre. Now right in the centre we've got sort of seeds. I'm going to leave those for now and just do, whoops, the petals. Yeah, I think that's it. I can't tell if that's the top of a petal or a seed, but either way it probably wouldn't be this colour. Now in my Cobra set, I'm just going to sharpen and show you we have Bubblegum. So we're going to use that next on our petals. I'm going to colour some of the bit I've coloured already to help to blend it together. And then actually I might take it right to the tip, particularly on that small one. We'll see how it looks. This is quite a intense pink. It's certainly not a colour that I would necessarily choose. I'm not a pinky person, so if I was, say, decorating a room, buying some clothes, something like that, I wouldn't pick this colour. But I think for this, because we're going to have lots of different colour flowers on this, it's quite nice to have, you know, use all the colours that I've got. So using the pink, I think it'll work. It works with the purple, so that's good. But there are some pinks I really like. I'm getting to like more pinks. I think a slightly more orangey pink is more my thing, like a salmon type pink, something like that. But it was nice being out this morning. The sun was shining. It was making me feel sort of grateful, really, for everything that I have. Very lucky person, and I do a job that I enjoy. I have a lovely family, you know, and it also made me think about the colouring community and how lovely everyone is. And I want to say thank you to you all for your support. every time I get a little like, a comment, a follow, a subscription, those sorts of things, you know, it just makes me happy. I don't do this because of that. I do it because I enjoy it, and I sort of want to encourage people to colour, really. I just get so much pleasure out of it myself that I like to encourage others, which is why, part of the reason why when I see your pictures on Instagram or Facebook, I try to leave a comment and a like. It's not just because I want to encourage you, but I do, but also it encourages me. I see other people's pictures and there's inspiration to be taken from that, whatever the picture is of or like, or whatever level you're at. You know, there's always something pretty, a colour combo, a bit of shading, or just the picture you've chosen, the way it all works together. It's always something that inspires me. And I also want to, so I want you to know that I appreciate you posting it. So I do that. You know, I was thinking this morning about my a relative of mine. Now she has passed away now, but she was a lovely, lovely lady. She was my father's cousin, and she was the kindest person that I've ever known. Now I know we all, well, most of us here are big fans of Johanna Basford, and she is very kind. But this lady, she just had not a bad word to say about anybody. So if you were talking about, let's say, a politician or a celebrity that has done something a little bit annoying, silly in the news, that sort of thing, she wouldn't even talk down about them. She would just sort of say that I'm not going to say anything. You know, she would sort of refuse. And I admire that. And she was also just kind to other people, just lovely, gentle. You know, she would always visit people, always find nice things to say about them, be thankful and grateful, give up her seat on the bus even though she was a bit wobbly herself. You know, she was just... So when she passed away, I decided that I wanted to try and channel some of that thoughts and feelings, and I try. It's not easy. My goodness, I don't know how she did it to never, and I don't do it all the time, I can't, but I just try and do it as much as I can, and in certain ways. I just can't always do it all the time, but I try. Now, the centre of the flower, I'm thinking I'd quite like a dark colour, and then the circle's a little bit lighter. So what I'm going to do is go back to the space that we used for the berries, and I'm going to fill in all that sort of dark, all the bit that isn't circles, if that makes sense. You'll see what I mean as I do it. So these bits, the sort of backgroundy bits, I guess, because they'd be in shadow. And that might have been a bit of a circle. Never mind. Oh, it was. Oh well. Let's see, that one is. I don't know. I think I've done that a bit wrong, but never mind. I'll make it work. Yeah, this lovely, lovely lady. And I actually remember telling someone about her, and they said, what, she was kinder? You think she was kinder than your mum? And I said, well, yes, I love my mum. She's lovely, you know, but some people are kinder than others. She, my mum, when she talks about politics, she has opinions. Here's Amethyst, which is from the spider set, to do the little circles, you know, and that's fine. But, you know, so it's just different. She's not a nasty person, my goodness. But, but you know, just a different personality. Okay, flowers. Now, we have these little flowers here. Let me push it up a little bit. I'm going to do these next, and I'm thinking I'm going to do them blue because I think they'll look a little bit different. I'm going to do them quite a bright blue so they stand out a little bit, or else they might get lost amongst the purples and pinks. So I've chosen the Forget-Me-Not from the Black Widow set, and I'm going to do the main petals in this. So I'm going to go around the centre and then to the tip, just lightening my touch as I go to make it a little lighter on the ends of the petals. They're quite small. I'm not gonna, you could put a layer of darker blue around the center if you want to. I probably won't. And all these ones that look similar, I'm going to do the same colour. I've missed a bit, I realise that. There we go, it wasn't intentional. You could leave a white bit right at the end if you want to, rather than the pale blue. It's up to you. Just going to make that bit a little bit darker there where it overlaps. I'm not going to worry too much about them. Just make them look pretty. Now to me the centre of these look like they're dipped in slightly, so I am going to do them in a darker blue. I'm just having a look to see if there are any more similar flowers. I think I might do those two. They look different to each other, don't they? We'll see. We'll leave that for now. Say the centre a darker blue. In my spider set I have a darker blue which I'm just sharpening, and it is the Starry Night. Oh, you can't see that. There we go. See, the light catches these, you can see them, but when the light catches polychromos it makes them hard to read. It's because of the colour of the pencil barrel, isn't it? I'm just going to fill that in really dark like that. There we go. Very straightforward. See, these look like daffodils to me. What should we do? We've got this one. I think we need some orange. I know. Let's do these ones with oranges and yellows. We can do quite a light orange and then see how it balances. But I feel like we're missing colours at the minute. So I've got a sunset from the Cobra set, which is an orange. Let's just move you in, and I'm just going to go slightly around the edge here with it. Although it's called sunset and it's orange, it's not massively vibrant. Once we go over it with yellow, it won't look so vibrant, and I'm going to do that in the middle. Okay, it's quite simple. That should be red, that little gap there. What red did we use? That was it, the deep red. There we go. Sorry, I just got to wipe my nose so I don't want to run. Alright, right, back to the sunset. Now I've gone over a bit with the red. You could try and erase that if you've done the same thing. You probably haven't. Now with these buds, I'm thinking are from these flowers. They might not be, but that's how I'm going to do them anyway. So I'm going to carry on with that. They just seem close to those flowers, as if that's what they are. Don't know. Okay, and we've got a nugget colour here. Actually, hang on, what's that? Yeah, we use this first. So this is Nugget from the Cobra set. And we're going to go over the top of that orange and just bring some yellow out. It'd probably be easier to do a colour that's a little bit closer to the orange. They're not that similar. So we can actually see the sort of line of orange, but maybe that's okay. Now buds I often find are a little bit darker than the flower itself, so I'm going to take this down a little bit further. Now I'm going to use one of the spider set. Now I don't know if this is going to be a bit darker than the Nugget, to be honest. This is the egg yolk. I think it's a bit, I'm going to try it here. No, I think it's a bit paler. I'll just take it to the tip. finish all these off. Like that. There we go. Now I'm going to try and just blend that orange in a little bit better, because to me the sunset colour, it just looks like a line. I'm just going to try and fade it into the yellow a bit more. It's quite difficult blending into yellow, I find. Let's see if I can just make it work a little bit better. I'm happier with that. I'm just taking it a bit further up the petal and trying to fade it in a bit more so it isn't such a line between the colours. There we go. Now I'm aware we've got these circles which we haven't done. Now what I really want them to be is a very vibrant yellow, and I'm not sure that we've quite got that colour. I'm going to try it with the lemonade from the Spider set, but if it doesn't brighten is too much, I might use a yellow Posca pen instead. I'm going to go over and over that in a few layers to see if we can get a bright colour like that. And around. We'll see. It may or may not work. You know, we've got a lot more to do, so we'll figure it out as we go. So now we've got quite a nice mix of colours. I have got some light, we're not going to do reds, we've got our strawberry we need to think about, but we've got, which is going to be tricky, we've got these two flowers. We could do something that's a lighter yellow, but our windows are that colour. I'm going to do a lighter purple, and we have a purple haze and a tulip in the Cobra set, which I think will work well. And in fact, yeah, so here's our purple haze, and I'm going to start at the centre of the petals and try to fade it out towards the tip. I'm trying to be a bit more effective than I was with the orange on those yellowy flowers. Now you might have your favourite colours that you would prefer to use, and by all means do so. It's good fun, you know, doing our favourites, and not just favourite colours but favourite sets of pencils. Although these light purples, they're quite hard to come by in some sets. Even in pastel sets there don't seem to be many purples, which is interesting. Right, and I'm going to finish off those petals with the tulip. It's a paler shade, I think, but it's slightly pinky. So it's just going to change the ends of the petals to a slightly different colour, which I think will be nice. I've been thinking about this as well. Now it's not really flowers or leaves, it looks more like it's sort of tiles, but I thought I might do it in purple. I don't know why, just thought it might be nice. So we'll see. Right, so we have the centres to do and the sort of seedy bits. And I'm going to use this grape. No, I picked up completely the wrong colour. Hold on. I'm going to use this grape colour from the Cobra set. It's another sort of deep purple. I know it's going to be quite similar to this, but I think it'll be okay. So I'm just going around the outside of the seeds and fading towards the middle on each one. And just colouring these in a block just because they're a little bit small. I don't know what that is. I'm going to colour that in like it as well. And I'm going to just put a little bit of this here, just to provide a little bit of shadow from those top petals, like that. Right, now I've got strawberries to do. I'm actually going to start my strawberries with orange because I want them to look less red than the roof, if that makes any sense. I hope so. I have got, I'm trying to get my orangey red out. The Ladybug in the Black Widow set is more of an orangey red. But I'm going to start with this one. This is called Fire, and it's from Cobra, so it's quite orangey red. So I'm just going to do that first, and I'm just going to go over all of them in a layer. Looks a bit more like tomatoes than strawberries, but never mind. It's only a little bit, and then we're going to go on to the Ladybug colour. Ladybug, Black Widows. Let's bring you into the middle. It will be more in focus. And just do more on the edges and fade towards the middle. I don't know whether this is really supposed to be a flower bud rather than a strawberry, but never mind. Now that I know the strawberry's got seeds on and we're colouring over them, but we can deal with those in a moment. Now sometimes on strawberry plants the seeds are yellow and sometimes they're black. It's sort of up to you which you do. I think I'm going to do black because it will stand out more, and I'm actually going to use a black pen. If I can find it, yeah, I've got a black Posca here, which I'm going to use. Give it a bit of a shake. And I'm just going to mark on these little dots. Now I would normally be very careful about doing this and not do it in the middle of a picture because don't want to smudge it, but I'm moving away from this area with my colouring, so it doesn't matter because it will dry by the time I'm back over there. We are going here. I've got to think about these. Now we've got a blue sky, which is going to happen, but I quite like them to do them in a dark blue. So I'm just having a look at my different colours that I've got available. Yeah, so I'm thinking that the Zephyr Blue, which is a really dark blue, is where I'm going to start. Let's just put them into shot. So where we've got these lines from Rita, that's where I'm going to start with a hard application or lots of layers of blue. And you can see this is a really different shade to a sky blue, which would be a bit more like that, to be honest. So it's not going to get confused with the sky. This is quite a grey blue. I would say this was almost indigo. I'm going to do, ooh, there we go. And we need a bit on these other petals too, maybe a bit less. And this one. And then down here too, I'm going to make these a bit darker because they're behind. Looks quite inky, doesn't it? Quite a dark bit there. So this one's marked out differently. We have less lines on this front petal. Gosh, it's windy again today. I noticed that my eyes were running when we were out, which they do when it's windy. But it wasn't that gusty. But anyway, we've got a little bit of our roof that gets a bit affected sometimes by the wind, but it's been okay. I keep an eye on it. It's a little bit of leading around the Galax window, which slips down the roof occasionally when it's windy. And I've been keeping an eye on it. It's been okay. But it doesn't slip off the roof, luckily. It just slides down a little bit so you can push it back into place. but if it isn't there, we could get a leak, so we have to just keep an eye on it. But I don't know why it isn't very secure. Okay, so there's my light layer of blue, and what I'm going to do is add to that with, I'm just looking at what I've got. Yeah, I'm going to use the Starry Night. I know we've used it already right over here, but I'm going to use it again, and just continue it. I'm going to go over that blue because it's quite a different shade, and then just fade it off towards the end of the petal. I don't want it to go too dark. As I say, we've got to do the sky, and we want the flowers to show up against the sky, but they don't need to be really intensely dark because the sky is going to be a different shade. So I'm just going to continue with all of them. Now, I don't know whether this would be, there'd be a bit of petal there like there is over here, but I'm not going to put one in. I think if it was drawn there, there would be some lines and things like there are on here. So I'm just going to leave that to be sky. We've got a challenging bit coming up above these flowers. We've got some water droplets. Oh, I didn't do the bottom of those, which is going to be interesting. I have done a water droplet video before, but it didn't look quite like that. I'm just going to go back to the Zephyr Blue and do that bit. Now these little circular bits that are coming out of the flowers, I'm going to use these Starry Night for those and just go around the edge and then lighter towards the middle. I'm checking while I'm doing this to see if we've done all the flowers, because I think we'll make that do if we have, because it's been quite long for today. And we've got some flowers in the window box, that's all. Let me zoom out a little bit because it's easier to think about colour when you can see what's going on with the whole thing. Now I did think we're sort of missing orange, but it's going to be too close to the colour of this. So I'm thinking let's just grab, where's my pencil sharpener gone? There it is. We'll just grab some fancy pink and do that. Fancy pink and the Cobra set. And we'll do them in that. Maybe actually we'll do every other one in fancy pink. And then we'll do the others in a purple. Which one should we pick? This one's a nice one. I think that's the Amethyst. Yeah, the Amethyst for the other two. Quite small, I'm afraid. I've zoomed out, haven't I, by miles. Like that. And I think I'll make the window box I'm going to do in a grey. I'll just do that now and then we'll finish. Again, you can't see. In fact, I'm just going to zoom out and finish. I think I'm going to do the other details because I might make the window box match the roof. So I shall do that in the next video. So that is me for today. So that was quite a mammoth colouring session, but we've got quite a lot done, haven't we? Why is it all so wonky? I really don't know. But anyway, there we go. So thank you for watching, and next time, tomorrow, we'll do the greenery. So that'll be something fun to do. So thanks for watching and happy colouring.